Welcome to Conversations with Zaki Baruti, your host, Zaki Baruti. Like always, before we begin the program, I'd like to give a shout out to my biological family, the Universal African Peoples Organization family, as well as to the family of New Life Evangelistic Center, headed by Reverend Rice. We want to always commend them for their great work in terms of providing shelter for the homeless. Tonight's program will be a very interesting program. I got a couple of interesting guests that's with me, and I'm going to start by introducing and welcoming to our show Brother Amari Sanefuru, who is a founder of the Junior Black Chamber of Commerce, and as well as you hold a lot of different hats in the community, and I'd like for you to share some of those hats in a minute, as well as a young man who aspires to preferably be a great leader or make a great contribution to society, Mr. Xavier Silva. Welcome to Conversations with Zaki Baruti. What you want to say, sir? Okay, then. It just so happens that Xavier Silva is one of my grandchildren, my grandson. So to that end, in terms of the program, Brother Amari, share with our audience a little bit about who you are and your activism in our community.
Okay, first of all, I want to thank you for inviting us to be your guests on this show, and especially highlighting this young man who is the ambassador of the one of the two ambassadors of the Junior Black Chamber of Commerce. As some of the people in the community well know, that I am the manager general of the Universal African Peoples Organization, which you head up, and in that regard, we do a lot of community activism. We do outreach, among other things. In addition to that, I'm also what you refer to as a Kemetic Saber. The term Saber is a East African Kemetic term for teacher of the African Nile Valley spiritual tradition. But in this regard, I'm the founder and president of the Junior Black Chamber of Commerce, which is a youth organization that brings in young people from the ages of 10 to 18 and teach and guide them and motivate them in the direction of entrepreneurship and business. Because we find that there's a problem in our community when it comes to high unemployment. And our approach to solving that is a long-term approach, is that we groom the young people who will become business professionals. They will, one, be able to hire our own people, and two, be able to build institutions and collaborate, because our philosophy is both group economics as well.
So with that said, what was the main thing that motivated you to undertake such a worthwhile task, working with our young people, and especially when you say Junior Black Chamber of Commerce, what motivated you to do that?
Well, actually, back in 2010, I was watching a video and I heard a young lady, looked like she may have been 19 or 20 years old, kind of lashing out at the older generation, saying that we didn't leave them anything. We didn't leave them their history, and we didn't leave them economic base. I guess she was in some kind of an argument, and I just caught her response to the argument. But it made me think. There was no argument to her complaint. And so at that point, it kind of inspired me to give our young people those two things that she said we had not given. And that was the beginning of the idea of the Junior Black Chamber of Commerce. I've started formulating the idea in 2012. And by 2013, we had our first organizing meeting. And right now, we're about to celebrate our 4th anniversary with this upcoming event, April the 22nd, our annual Junior Black Chamber Scholarship Fundraising.
Oh, that's great, and we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
One last question before we go to our young man with us. In terms of when you say Junior Chamber of Commerce, of course, Junior Black Chamber of Commerce, and when you talk about commerce business, are you a business owner?
Yes, I've been a business owner for over 25 years. My specialization is masonry construction, and I've done projects in this city. I guess the largest project I've done was a 3-story Days Inn hotel down on St. Louis Avenue and Broadway. And we've done masonry work for celebrities like Chris Carpenter. We did his house, which was like, I think it was 30,000 brick and 5 tons of stone in the total design of the property. And so some of the proud projects that we've done, additions, and we've done commercial as well as residential. So I bring my experience as a business professional to try to inspire these young people to be entrepreneurs.
That's great. Turning to you, Xavier, share with thousands and thousands and millions of people looking at you right now. Share a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Xavier. I'm 14 years old. I currently go to John Burroughs School. I'm in the 8th grade, be a freshman starting in August. And I'm the co-ambassador of the Junior Black Chamber of Commerce.
So how long have you been with the Junior Black Chamber of Commerce?
Oh, I've been there since the beginning. I think I started out as a 10-year-old. And
so you've been there since, okay, then great. So participating in the Junior Black Chamber of Commerce, what has been rewarding to you? I mean, what have you gained from that?
Well, I know in the recent years we've been touring lots of businesses, and it's been really interesting to hear their stories a lot. I know that's something I've taken away from the whole program a lot, and it's really cool to get to know those people and hear their stories, learn what they went through. Like they'll emphasize different points. Like sometimes they'll say like you need to get along with everyone in the business world, or like you should always stay in school, which are both true things that I've heard repeated amongst them. And it's really cool.
Okay, then on that note, we'll take a quick break and we'll be back on the flip side.
What if New Life hadn't been here? What if New Life wouldn't, if the shelter was to close?
I really want to know what I do, because everybody else are saying they full or they don't want to take mother and children. So if this place closed, then St. Louis would be a really, really, really bad place.
It was a miracle that I even found a place that I'm still alive, and I've been reading my Bible every day, and just a little miracle every day. Something comes up that reminds me of what was out there, and what I don't know what I would have done if it wasn't for this place. I said I might have died if the doors wouldn't have been open, and a warm bed that night. I'm actually still sick from it, but getting better because I have a dry place to sleep now. It's a godsend that you guys are, the help that I see around here, the things that people do for people. It's trying to get people jobs, trying to get them started back on the right track. Some people have addictions or whatever, and there's classes for all those people. Come and get a sandwich, what they need it, but there's always somebody there that are helping. There's somebody trying to help those people. They help me, and I like to help somebody.
It's important because down through the years, I have gotten my electric bill paid. I've gotten help with my gas bill, and I've gotten food, and mainly lots of food. They always give out food, and it's a place where people can come when they need a bed to sleep in. And thank God that we've always had a home, but there's other things you need when the home doesn't have food or electric or gas, and you have to seek other sources. And Larry Rice and his church foundation have always been there for me and my family until I got on my foot and got better. And then I was able to donate and give back. So it's been a great experience, and I still love all the people here. They're wonderful, and it's good to know good Christian people.
Thank you, Club 24 members. before your feet hit the floor in the morning, before the sun even rises, there are nearly 200 homeless men who've been kept warm through the night at 1411 Locust Street alone because of your Club 24 membership. Thank you.
Welcome once again to Conversations with Zaki Baruti, and I have in studio with me the founder, Brother Amari Sanefuru of the Junior Black Chamber of Commerce, and one of his constituents, a young man named Xavier Silva, who was sharing just before the break a little bit about himself. Between the break, share with our audience, you have participated here on Channel 24, this great station before, right, as the Junior Black Chamber of Commerce, if I'm not mistaken?
Absolutely. The Junior Black Chamber of Commerce actually has a television show called the Harambe 101, where we recorded about 4 episodes. And as a matter of fact, Xavier actually hosted one of those episodes. Do you remember the name of the show in particular?
I don't remember what his name was. I know it was the director of Annie Malone, I believe.
Right.
Oh, okay, in terms of the interview that you had conducted.
Yeah.
Actually,
Right.
he was sitting in your seat doing the interview.
Okay, then, that's great then. So with that said, you have a important program that's coming up in the month of April, am I correct?
That's correct.
Would you like to share the audience with what is that important activity that you'll be doing?
Well, we have what we call our annual scholarship fundraiser and silent auction and raffle. We try to highlight every year the celebration of our founding, and as a part of that, you get to see our young people. Most of them participate in some type of presentation. We usually have some form of entertainment. We have food. We do, maybe sometimes we do a little video to show the various things that we've done and the various businesses that we've taken the young people to. Like for instance, Pharaoh Donuts, they were able to see the full process of how they make the donuts. We've been to some beauty salons and go back and talk to the original entrepreneurs who brought those and the journey that they went on. What's the popcorn place?
Popportunity.
Popportunity, who's gotten a new location on Lindbergh. We was able to spend time with her, and she was able to share with us how she started her business. Just Insurance, they were able to meet that brother who has over 4 locations, and he was able to explain how he started his business. So we've been bringing and getting these young people connected to real business professionals, and we expect them to maintain those relationships even into adulthood. And we encourage them to think as a group and develop permanent relationships with one another, as we expect them to do business ventures. Even if they're in different professions, we want them to come together and do business ventures together, because that's what's needed for our people in the future.
You know, and that's very key in terms of working with young people, because there's so many kinds of negative things that's out here that can distract and get a young person caught up that leads to the penal institution or what have you. Again, I want to just compliment you for the work that you're doing with young people. Xavier, in terms of your title is ambassador, is that correct? Mm-hmm. For the Junior Black Chamber of Commerce. So what is your responsibility? What do you do?
Well, I try to participate a lot in the meetings and everything that we do in the organization, and I've also attended certain events representing the Junior Black Chamber of Commerce. Like I've attended dinners before, I've gone to certain UAPO events and stuff, just to represent the organization and show that we're here.
So, okay, to show that you're here and you're some young, outstanding young people. Now,
just on that, he also represented the organization with at the dinner with the African Diaspora Council, mm-hmm. and he was a guest speaker, and I have to admit he did a great job.
Okay, then. As well as your organization has a real power slogan, if I'm not mistaken, right? You want to share that slogan for the organization?
Oh, sure. It's our creed. It goes...
Your creed. Okay, then.
Yeah. We pledge ourselves the next generation of movers and shakers, empowered to bring forth the wealth, dignity, and promise of a bright tomorrow.
That's great. So are you also exemplifying that not just at the meetings, but how are you doing in school? And what would you say to young people who are looking at you right now? What would be your message to some young people your age?
Well, I would say to try and stay in school, focus, stay focused, get good grades, and also try to get involved a little bit. Don't always just sit back. You want to try to get out there and stuff. Represent our generation.
Oh, to represent your generation, but a lot of your generation though is just on that. What's that called? That gangster rap and all that kind of stuff. You don't want them doing all that, am I right?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like.
What are you saying?
Like, we should be more involved, basically.
You should be more involved in positive things.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm putting. Okay, then to that end, or with your program, are the parents very involved with the program? And also, if anybody that's out there in the listening audience wanted to really get some information or even provide some resources for you, financial contributions or what have you, how would they reach out to you?
Well,
so that's a twofold question.
Well, absolutely, parents are involved, but I want to definitely give a shout out to the executive director, who's Kimberly Kemp, and our secretary, Carlisa, who are working tirelessly in the community. She leads the program, she's the inspiration, and she pretty much directs the program on a regular basis. Parents are required to participate in the fundraising activities. We raise our own money. There's no cost to being a member.
Okay, then, on that note, though, we'll just take another break and we'll be right back with Conversations with Zaki Baruti.
Homeless lives matter! 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 Homeless lives matter!
Hello, my name is Maxine Johnson. I fought against eminent domain. My mother with 6 children trying to take my property. Pastor Rice was the only media that covered the story. The American newspaper didn't cover it. Let me tell you something about Pastor Rice. 3 weeks ago, I had a man call me at 2 o'clock in the morning, 5 degrees. They kicked out of her house, need a place to stay. Pastor Rice, Larry Rice Shelter was the only shelter open during the midnight hours.
Only shelter.
Right now, this is what we are doing. 90% of the people are black folks, look like me. We need to keep this building open.
We were kicked out and left to live on the streets. I called the hotline, which St. Louis City has this wonderful hotline to call, and I kept getting the word that, sorry, no vacancies, nothing available. And I called day and night.
There's a lot of people that are homeless, might be struggling with health issues, and it's a lot better for us to have somewhere to go to be, comfortable.
I really wish this place would not shut down, because it is the only place that is available for people to go. I know the city says that there's other places, but I know for a fact that when you call the housing resource line, they just don't have anything available 98% of the time.
Most of us are 1 to 2 paychecks from being right here, right at the place that God has put it on your heart to allow people to come. And I've been fed bodily, but more than that, my soul has been nourished. My mind has been nourished with the Word of God and the Word of the Lord. And I have a renewed hope, a renewed vision that I don't know why God put me here, but He put me here, and I'm learning, and I'm able to help other people.
Really would appreciate if this place got left open, because I'll tell you, there isn't no place better than coming here and living, because I felt so blessed by having people who love me and care for me and worry about the things that I do and what happens to me. I didn't have that out in the outside world. I've got it here.
Your spare change could help spare a life, save a life right now. Send your gift straight in to P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri at 63166. Or you can even give online at www.newlifeevangelisticcenter.org.
Homeless life, line up! Homeless life, can't hear you! Homeless life, matter. Homeless lives matter. Homeless lives matter.
Welcome back to Conversations with Zaki, and in studio with me I have my good brother and comrade in the movement, who's the founder of the Junior Black Chamber of Commerce, Amari Sanefuru, as well as one of the youth participants, Xavier Silva. On the flip side, we were just, I was asking you to give out information as to if anybody, first of all, I was asking about the participation of the, the parents in the program, and you were saying that you do have good participation in?
Well, I would say maybe 25% of the parents are active in participation, and they help with fundraisers and things like that.
Oh, okay. Then how many young people are part of the program?
We have about 20 active members, but we also have alumni, graduates of the program who comes back and mentor or participate. We have one who, I might add, during the process of this experience, decided that he wanted to be a filmmaker, and he's pursuing his education at Webster University. And we have our second youth leader, which was Malik Kemp. That guy, their name was Malik Shakur. The second youth leader was Malik Kemp, and the third youth leader was my son McKinney Morrison, and the current youth leader is Sanchez Robinson. And all of those young men were very positive and active, and really three of the four are going to finish pursuing their education. My son is about to graduate this year, but Robinson is actually finding employment and going into the workforce.
Okay, so one is so do you have a follow-up program for all those who go through your program, or are you going to be developing it so that then, as you build, then other people can see your product?
Well, on the website, we're still in the process of developing our website, but there will be a link for even the alumni members, and you'll be able to follow their progress on our website. Malik with his filmmaking career, McKinney and his music career, etc.
Oh, okay then. Now again, if somebody needed to contact the Junior Black Chamber of Commerce, because I'm sure there's people out there that's listening and feel that this is is a good program, how would they be in contact with you?
Well, you can go to our website, or you can go to the African Diaspora Council's website, which is africandiasporacouncil.org, or you can go to the juniorblackchamber.com, juniorblackchamber.com. We got a new location, which is 1425 Ferguson. I want to get that out there. We've moved pretty much to Pagedale and a new center, a cultural center. And I will leave Xavier to give you the contact information.
Okay, what is the contact?
You can contact Ms. Kimberly Kemp, our executive director, at 314-306-0811.
So going back to your program that you have coming up here in mid-April, what is the objective again for that program?
Well, it's our annual scholarship fundraiser. Actually, Xavier is going to be the host MC, as he was last year. He does a magnificent job, I might add. And it's every year, at the end of the year, during our award ceremony, we award one of the young people a $1,000 scholarship.
$1,000 scholarship.
Right.
Oh, that's great then. And again, that's why it's very important that people know how to get back in contact with you. Xavier, if there was one really riveting, substantive, something that you got out of the Junior Black Chamber of Commerce, what would that be?
Well, I would have to say that working with others, and you need to be well-rooted in your community, and you need to give back to the community, basically. So you should know everyone, you should be able to be well-connected, and you should give back once you do make it.
Well, that's great then. And Amari, again, give out that number in terms of how people get in contact with the Junior Black Chamber of Commerce.
Well, like I said, you can go to our website, juniorblackchamber.com, or you can go to the African Diaspora Council .org, their website. That's the new partnership we developed in the building of a new cultural center in Pagedale, Missouri.
Oh, so we're going to have to talk a little bit about the cultural center then that's been developed. And on that note, we're going to close it out on the flip side with a little discussion about the cultural center.
How is New Life Evangelistic Center helping you, making a big difference?
Well, they're giving me a place to stay, a bed to sleep in, and I'm in a central location where I can find needed services.
This is a safe place because out there it's a jungle. Beautiful shelter. I love it. Everybody get along. It's just right. And then I can say it's perfect.
Was working and lost my job, and I lost my apartment. Had to put my stuff in storage, and I heard about the Evangelistic Center, Larry Wright's Evangelistic Center, through some friends and other people that had been here. So I felt that I could come down here and get some assistance in trying to get myself back on my feet, find me another job, give me another place, and so forth. It's been pretty helpful for me.
Will you help so New Life Evangelistic Center can help so many that are in need? Please send your gift now to New Life Evangelistic Center, P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri at 63166.
Homeless believer, find here a home. Homeless believer, find here a home. Homeless believer, find here a home. You may be lonely, but you're never alone.
Welcome back to Conversations with Zaki Baruti. In the studio with me is Amari Sanefuru, founder of the Junior Black Chamber of Commerce, as well as one of his youth constituents, Xavier Silva. On the flip side, we were talking about a cultural center. So you're working on a cultural center, the Junior Black Chamber of Commerce?
Well, the Junior Black Chamber of Commerce has merged, and that's another thing that they're able to experience, that business mergers are common in business. We've merged with another organization in terms of finding a new home base, which is the African Diaspora Council, which is located at 1425 Ferguson Avenue in Pagedale. And we have a new home where we'll be meeting twice a month, and we are able to give our events at that place as well. So we look forward to a bright future as new residents in that community. The building was recently purchased, and we're looking forward to making an impact in that community as well.
Okay, then any kind of lasting parting statements before the show comes to a conclusion?
Well, I urge the viewers to come and support these young people. You can make your donations to the Junior Black Chamber of Commerce. You can go to the website. There's a PayPal button on that website. I also encourage you to come out and bring your 10 through 18-year-old young person and get them off the streets and get them involved in the concept of group economics and entrepreneurship, because that's what it's all about.
I know that's right. And with that said, it kind of reminds me of a conversation I had with one of our founding members of our organization, a gentleman named Willie Marshall. And again, that's why I really want to salute the work that you're doing. He always challenged our community that if you don't invest time and money in our youth, then you are part of committing genocide, and that's the murder of a people. So that's a challenge that I'd like to put out to everybody that's out there in the listening audience, that we have to give some time to our young people. It starts, of course, at home, but we have to be our brothers and sisters keepers, in terms of if another parent is not doing what they're supposed to do, then we have to step up to the plate and adopt those children. So again, it's just been a very good pleasure. You have any final word, 10 seconds, any final parting words?
Just great to be here.
Okay,
thank you for me.
All right then. So thank you for being here, Mr. Xavier Silva. And again, Brother Amari Sanefuru, I just again want to compliment you with the work that you're doing with our young people. You have been listening to and seeing Conversations with Zaki Baruti.